speaks so highly of his experience here that everything he had hoped for has happened in Tigertown. What does it mean to you to have players say that about their experience?
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what you live for as a coach, is to see these guys, reach their potential, maximize their potential, just become the best version of themselves, grow, mature, get their education, develop off the field, and just have peace in knowing that they're ready for what's going to come next. And it's even better if they can stay healthy and things go the way they want them to go as a football player too. That's icing on the cake. But the biggest thing is just seeing these young people show up and transform their lives through their Paul journey experience.
As a coach, what goes through your mind on senior day? Is it, when you say goodbye to these guys, is it happiness, sadness, a little bit of everything in between? What's it like for you?
Yeah, all of that. I mean, it's an emotional week, because there's a lot of thought, especially as I prepare my message for Friday every week. There's a lot of thought that goes into that, and this particular week, it's just you spend a lot of time thinking about each guy, and I've been with Tanner Muse for 6 years. He's been here 5, but you recruit him for a year. Sometimes you recruit him for 2 years. Chad Smith, he's on his 5th year. Gage Cervinka, I got a picture of me and Gage Cervinka when he was in the 7th grade at camp, and I wrote on his poster, you're going to be a Tiger one day or whatever. And, so a lot of these guys, man, they've been around here. John Simpson, Pollard, even though they're Ankrum, they've been here 4 years, but you've known them for 5 years. You spent a lot of time with these guys, and it's just you've seen them. A guy like Kayvon come in here with a lot to learn and just see transformation. Denzel Johnson, here's a guy that didn't really have any Division I offers that we kind of took a chance on. Really, he bet on himself because, I told him if he grew up academically and got serious about school and got his work done, I would sign him in the summer. I wouldn't sign him in February. Or you can take one of these other scholarships and so he kind of bet on himself, and now here he is, and he's going to be a college graduate, and he's just done an outstanding job. And his whole life is transformed, and his kids' lives have transformed, when he has kids one day, and his grandkids, and so it's just those are the type of things that I think about, because to me it's all about these relationships, and you just love these guys. DeAndre Overton, he's been here 4 years, and that guy has worked his tail off to develop into a good receiver, and super proud of him. We got a lot of walk-ons that have been in here and been around here for many years, grinding and working every single day. And so just have a great appreciation for all of these guys. Isaiah Simmons is graduating here in December, and, I'm going to save a scholarship for him, but most likely he's probably not going to be here. But it's been a joy to see all of them, grow up and mature. We don't have a lot of seniors, but you love all those guys and wish them well. Tremaine Ankrum, I'm gonna miss Tremaine. I mean, he's been, he's kind of he's the modern day version of Eric McLean. I mean, he's Mr. Clemson. He's probably gonna take one of y'all's jobs before this thing's over with. Tremaine is such a smart and great ambassador for our program. He's one of the best leaders we've had. But when he came in here, he didn't really say a whole lot. He was kind of just shy and to himself, and now he's just this confident man. So it's really neat to see the maturity and the growth in these guys.
Dabo, Brent was saying you watched some of Alabama, LSU, hated it for the defensive coordinator, seeing all the quarterback play and the skill and everything. Did you get to see that?
I saw a little bit of it. I didn't get to see as much as I would have liked to have seen. And I'm trying to think, where were we? What time did they play?
3:30.
Yeah. So I mean, we were getting ready. I saw just a part of it in the first half there, but I didn't get to see any of the rest of it. Saw some of the highlights, but yeah, that's two good teams right there.
Dabo, what Deshaun and Lamar are doing right now is sort of making that 2016 game even more storied, I guess. Is there one play from both of those guys in that game that you remember more than others?
One play, I'd have to probably not have to go back and look at my notes. One play, I mean, there were so many plays. I mean, it was great play after great play after great play after great play, and it was just back and forth. You know, I think it was one play. I guess Deshaun hit Leggett on, which was a big play in that game, but Lamar, he just, you know, he just willed them back into the game, and I mean, it was. You felt pretty good about the game. There was a little bit of moment there, and then all of a sudden you're just battling in a dogfight, and it seemed like every game that year was that way. But I mean, he's just one of those guys you held your breath every time he touched the ball. But probably the play that stands out to me is Marcus Edmond. That's what I remember. So that was the play of the game right there on fourth down. But both just unbelievable competitors. I always liked Lamar. I just thought he was a great competitor. I mean, he was tough. He never turned it down. Even the next year, they weren't as good. Was it 17? Was that his last year, 17? And they weren't as good that year. But, man, he just continued to battle and compete and was tough. And he's – I'm not surprised at all at what he's doing at the next level, he or Deshaun.
What sort of biggest thing you saw then that you now are seeing from both those guys?
They're winners. They're leader, heart, toughness. I mean, that's what you saw then. That's what you see now. We might have had a little more around Deshaun than maybe Lamar had, from a total team standpoint. But both of them just winners. Great toughness, unusual toughness, especially for that position. Great arm talent, and just the ability to make something out of nothing. So that's exactly what and heart. It just oozes out of both those guys. And I think they're both great teammates. Obviously I didn't get to coach Lamar, but he was Trayvon Mullen's first cousin. Their moms were sisters. So I've talked to him several times, FaceTime with him a couple times. Trayvon, he's always on FaceTime. These guys walk around on FaceTime all the time. You can't just talk to somebody. You just walk around and you're just sitting there looking at someone. Hey, it's Lamar Jackson. What's up? Oh, hey, Coach Swinney. So, I've had a few of those off-cuff conversations, and he just seems like such a great guy. And if you close your eyes, you'd think you're talking because they talk exactly the same. They have the exact same. I don't know if accent's the right word, but they just sound alike. So it's really pretty cool. But he's a neat guy, and same thing with Deshaun. Just two good people that are great leaders, and they love to play the game. And you got a guy who's really, really talented, who loves to play the game, loves to prepare for the game, and has got great toughness and heart. Usually good things are going to happen.
What do you make of the way they've kind of, the scheme-wise, that they've used Lamar and used Deshaun, how the NFL's kind of evolved?
It was just a matter of time. I mean, that's been coming for people fought it. A lot of them old school guys fought that for years. Like, it was just a matter of time. Because just like our game had to transition and change from kind of what was going on in the high schools and kind of what our pool of players was, it's the same thing to the pro level. And the coaches who've kind of made the adapted, all those things that they said you couldn't do, it's being done. And guys are having a lot of success.
Coach, philanthropy and community have always been real important to you. How much did it mean to you to be named the All-State Good Works Coach of the Year and to have Deshaun make a surprise visit to present it?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great day, and really, I had no idea. I mean, I knew that I didn't even know they had a coach for that team. First of all, I knew about the team, but I knew about the that I was nominated for that like a while earlier. And it was just Ross told me one day. I was like, oh, that's cool. And, but I had no clue that was going on. But it was really neat. We had just had our grant luncheon that day, which was pretty cool. And, that was a great day already. And then coming in, but Deshaun had called me the day before, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" I'm like, "Well, we got practice. It's Wednesday." And he's like, "Well, I'm going to be in town. I just wanted to drop by and see you and see if you were there." And I said, "Yeah, I'll be here. That'd be awesome." He's like, "I know y'all are on the road, and we're off this weekend, so y'all don't have a game. So I'm just going to swing through. I want you to meet my girlfriend." And I'm like, "Okay, great." I said, "What time you coming?" He's like, "I'll probably get there about 2. I said, "Oh, that's even better. Our team meeting's at 2:10. So I'm just, hook, line, and sinker. He's just, and I'm like, "Yeah, man, hey, that'd be awesome. We'll get you up in front of the team for a few minutes. They'd love to see you." "Oh, yeah, that sounds great." Just hoodooed me. And so I didn't even tell anybody he was coming. I didn't tell a soul. I told nobody he was coming. And then until Ross came up the day he was coming, and he was like, "Hey, I heard Deshaun was coming." I said, "How do you know that?" And he said, "The Texans guy just reached out to me as a courtesy, just saying, 'Hey, Deshaun's coming into town.'" I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Well, don't tell anybody." And so anyway, it was a cool day. And so sure enough, I pumped him up, introduced him to the team. He says a few words, and he's like, "I'm really here." So that caught me off guard. That was a cool moment, and I really appreciated him taking the time to do that. I mean, he actually was on his way to vacation for a few days and get away with some friends. So that was pretty cool that he took the time to come do that in person.
Anybody else?
Coach, I don't think there's been too many instances before in the past where you guys have brought 2 pairs of pants on the road. How excited were you to announce to the team that they'd be going back in the locker room and changing into the orange pants and solidifying championship phase and being able to come out like that?
Oh, it was a really cool moment. I didn't want to jinx us, so I didn't tell anybody. But Abe just said, "Hey, just in case," because I was trying to figure out when that guy said, "Just in case." And I said, would you think we'd have enough time? It's not like back in the day, where back in the day, you had to, you forever to put your knee pad in the little thing. Now these guys all have, built-in padded girdles and things like that, so it's not as big a deal. So it worked out, and so it was pretty cool. They were fired up, and I think we did that one. I think I did it in the Orange Bowl, maybe. It seemed like we did that when we played Ohio State, maybe. It seemed like we switched. We came out in white and then came back out in orange. I'm pretty sure I did that one other time. I may be losing my mind. I'm thinking I did that. I'll have to ask Abe. Abe would know. But I'm pretty sure we did that one other time. But anyway, this was pretty cool. Pretty cool moment, and guys enjoyed it. And so be back in white pants this week.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.